Giving yourself a tattoo is not complicated, but there's a few steps that if you skip, it can make the whole process a little bit frustrating. For instance, you could end up with a tattoo, be walking down the street, and then have a man come up to you and say, "Hello, would you like me to suck you off?" And then you're thinking, what happened? And then he says, "I like your tattoo." That you don't want that, you don't want to be in that situation. So the first step before every tattoo is to check if it's gay first. Now, once you've done that, you can start drawing your tattoo. There's stencils, or you could freehand poke it if you're really cool, or you can just draw it on your skin. The worse it looks, the better it is. So just keep that in mind going forward. And then always make sure before you start poking that you shave your skin, because you probably got some hair if you're a human being, and that hair is going to not only get in the way, but also be in the way. So definitely do that step. And then the next step for every time you do a stick and poke is you want to lubricate. Plain and simple. I've got some videos showing proof of this, but if you're poking on dry skin, the ink spreads more than if you got a little bit of shiny surface before you get going. You want to always make sure you disinfect your spoons, because if you're putting ink in a spoon that has like soup on it or spit, and then that goes into your tattoo, you might end up with a more spitty, like a lasagna type tattoo when you were just trying to have a regular one. You could just use soap and water, you could boil it, but I prefer to kill it with fire, and you could do that throughout this entire process. You can just burn things either for fun or for safety, whichever you prefer. Once you get into poking, you're going to want to dip frequently, because, well, I don't know why, but for some reason, if I don't, the tattoos don't end up as good. And sometimes they actually end up kind of cooler if you don't. So honestly, you dip as often as you want, and you probably know better than me. Everybody's skin is different. So why do I have to have but you know, you probably get about 10 pokes per dip. Google it. You could also Google it. That's another thing. If you want to know about how to give yourself a tattoo, Google it. And then, other than that, I mean, finish the tattoo. The biggest mistake that people run into when they're giving themselves a tattoo is they'll be halfway through it, and then they'll be like, "I don't know if this is going so well. I don't want to mess it up any further. I'm gonna wait." And then now you've got a half-finished tattoo. You feel like dog crap because you can't even finish anything around here. So always finish your tattoo. Just keep poking. Just keep poking. That's the rule. Just finish the tattoo, because it's a definitive, yeah. And then,